Week 1 is upon us. Welcome back to the channel. Play along with me on these Week 1 predictions. Let me know in the comment section below what you agree with, what you disagree with, and which games you are going to be tuned in for. Let's get right into these Week 1 predictions, starting with the kickoff game. Week 1, we have Thursday Night Football between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. Outscored the Cowboys last season 75-13. Of course, that Philly offense is incredible. Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts in that backfield. Defense, Cooper DeJean stepping up last year. One of the best defenses in the league as well. That's probably my Super Bowl pick right now. And the Cowboys losing Micah Parsons, a new head coach. There's no way that the Eagles lose Week 1. Next game in Brazil, Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chargers. Mahomes is 7-1 against Justin Herbert. That alone makes me want to pick the Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They'll use whatever voodoo magic they have to, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Bills fan. I've watched the Chiefs games over the last few seasons. They just find ways to win games. Andy Reid is probably the best head coach in the league as well. So I'm taking Kansas City in a big win Week 1 over the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, he wants to get his get back against the Chiefs after, single-handedly blowing games, I would say, to them in the last couple seasons. But I'm picking the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Mahomes, of course. Now we move on to the Sunday slate. The Miami Dolphins in Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts. Again, these picks are non-biased. Some people may pick the Dolphins. I'm not just picking the Colts because the Dolphins are in the AFC East. The Colts definitely upgrade their secondary. Cameron Bynum and Charvarius Ward back for them. So that'll be two big acquisitions. Daniel Jones as the starting quarterback is a little worrisome. I would have put Richardson in. We've seen Anthony Richardson have some problems, though, and it's probably playbook related. He's probably just not learning. Of course, him subbing himself out the other season was not great as well. And then, of course, we got to touch on Tyreek Hill's offseason. Tyreek Hill, he seems to be focused now, but he asked for a trade and then, kind of retracted that statement. So, whole lot of drama going on in Miami. I'm taking the Colts. Next game, we got a divisional matchup between the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. This one's easy for me. I'm taking the Commanders. Jaden Daniels has established himself as a really solid quarterback. I don't know if I'd say top 10, but honestly, the more I think about it, I probably would put him top 10, which is crazy because I don't think anyone expected him to play as good as he did last season. And the team in general, the Commanders, nobody expected them to be as good as they were. They're 6-point favorites. I think they covered that. The Giants have the toughest schedule in the NFL as well. So Giants fans, if you're watching this video, probably not going to be too fun of a season. So I'm picking the Commanders here, easy. Next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. How could I not take the Cincinnati Bengals? Joe Burrow, a top 3 quarterback in the league. Jamar Chase just signed. T. Higgins still there at wide receiver. The Bengals passing attack is going to certainly overwhelm the Browns. Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback for the Browns too. I don't know how many weeks he makes it until one of the backups steps in, whether that's Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders. I don't understand how Joe Flacco, is the starter. Why would you waste this season with him starting? Joe Flacco is so old. Then again, Joe Flacco did surprise us in the playoffs recently, so maybe Joe Flacco still got a little bit left in the tank. I have to take the Cincinnati Bengals in this one, though. Next game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders heading to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. Drake May, second-year guy at the helm, and Drake May certainly surprised me last year. I thought he was very calm and collective for a rookie quarterback, something that the Patriots haven't seen in the last few seasons. Of course, they had the whole Mac Jones shebang, which didn't really work out for them at all, but Drake May seems to be what they wanted him to end up being. They added Stephon Diggs and Mac Hollins, 2 former Buffalo Bills that I know all too much about. And then, of course, overall, their team is just a little bit better. The Raiders, Brock Bowers, a lot of people are projecting him to be a top 5 tight end in the league this year. New quarterback as well over there in Las Vegas with Geno Smith. I see the Patriots winning this one very, very closely. We will see what happens, though. Next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New York Jets at MetLife. This is a big one. Aaron Rodgers Aaron Rodgers, big return to MetLife to take on his former team. I think he gets his revenge. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game. I think they have a better team overall. We have Justin Fields on the other side of things, so quite the battle, but I think that the Steelers take this one. I think the Jets are going to struggle again this season. I don't see them making the playoffs, and I don't see them being a contender in the AFC East, but you never know. Maybe they'll be proven wrong. Next game we got here is the Arizona Cardinals taking on the New Orleans Saints. Arizona, again, Kyler Murray at the helm there. New Orleans, they don't have a quarterback right now. It's Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler. Obviously, Tyler getting the start for the season. I don't know how long that's going to last. I have to pick the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals absolutely run all over the Saints in this one. Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, as well, out wide. The Cardinals, they have a good team. Trey McBride, I think this one's an easy one as well. Cardinals it is. Moving on to the next one, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I said something on the podcast this week where I said if the Carolina Panthers, were the equivalent of an NHL team, they would be the Sabres this season, where you look into it and it's like there's really no hope, right? Like the Panthers have had some success in the past, and they did start to look better at the end of last season. But I think the Jaguars start the season with a win. I think this game is close because I don't really have the Jaguars being all too hot of a team this year either. But I think they just have more depth on their roster. Hopefully Bryce Young can prove me wrong, but I think the Panthers are in for another bad season. Although I did see a Bills account on X the other day project them to the NFC Championship, so maybe I'm wrong. Next game, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Again, the Buccaneers just won the NFC South, and the NFC South seems to be one of the easiest divisions to win year in and year out as of recently. So maybe again, like we bring the Panthers back into this division. Anyone could win this one. Emeka Egbuka, again, I have trouble saying that name. Again, rookie, he has joined the team as well. Baker Mayfield. I have the Buccaneers winning this game. And then, of course, Jalen McMillan. Atlanta has a tricky situation at quarterback, unproven with Penix Jr. there. So I have the Buccaneers winning this one, but I think it does end up being a very close game, especially towards, the first half of this game. I think maybe it opens up a little bit in the fourth, but I think this is anyone's game for a majority of this game. Next game we have is the Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Cam Ward's big debut, 7.5-point underdog. I have to take the Broncos, though, because Bo Nix, he was a huge shocker last season. No one expected Bo Nix to be as good as he was, or the Broncos to be as good as they were last season. Broncos it is. I have to pick them. Pat Surtain as well. Sean Payton is one of the best coaches in the league as well, so I have to take them. And historically, the Broncos seem to beat up on the Titans, so I am picking the Broncos to win this one. And I think the Broncos are going to give the Chiefs a good run for their money in that division sweepstake that will follow along all season long. Next game we have is the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. This one, I have the Niners winning. I think the Niners have a really good team. Seattle does have Sam Darnold now, who shined in Minnesota, but I don't think he's as good this year as he was last year, so I think this is easy for me. I am taking the Niners. Moving on to a big matchup here. The Detroit Lions taking on the Green Bay Packers. Micah Parsons' debut for the Packers. Everything seems to be going good for the Packers as of late. Not so fast in the wise words of Lee Corso. Shout out Lee Corso retiring last week. I am taking the Detroit Lions to potentially upset. I'm seeing the Packers as a 2-point favorite right now. Again, those lines will switch. I think Detroit has a big week one game. They get the win at Lambeau. But hear me out. I don't have Detroit doing all that great this season. I think Detroit is one of those teams that underachieves, especially after how they looked in the playoffs last season. But give me them week one against the Packers. I think it's just, they need to get back after, such a disappointing end to last season. Now let's get into the next game. We have the Houston Texans taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to take the Texans in this one. CJ Stroud, very shaky career. I don't know where he is headed. He could end up being a top 5 quarterback this league. He could end up being a bottom 10 quarterback this league. This year, we really don't know where CJ Stroud is going to go, but that defense that Houston has is very solid. The Texans are favored in this game. The Rams, of course, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. That offense is going to be fun to watch this year, but I have the Texans winning away this week. Moving on to Sunday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens at my Buffalo Bills. Of course, last season's divisional game, the Bills won that one 27-25. Home field advantage is the reason I'm taking the Bills in this one. Could go either way. If it was in Baltimore, I'd probably take the Ravens, but Bills week 1 last year at that old stadium, got to give it to the Bills here in week 1. Joey Bosa, a key addition on defense. Josh Palmer, Elijah Moore on offense. Of course, Malachi Starks was the rookie that the Ravens took. DeAndre Hopkins as well. That team is going to be really good this year. It all depends on how their offense operates and if they could get Hopkins in the passing game. If Mark Andrews can bounce back from a down year. If Derrick Henry can play good. Again, a whole lot of factors. I think the Ravens are a good team this year. I have the Bills. Last prediction in this video, we have Monday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This game could go either way. I have the Vikings winning this one. I think the Bears, of course, Ben Johnson is their new head coach. The defense looks better, but that offense is just not where it needs to be. Again, I watched the preseason game against the Bills where the Bears won by 50-something points. It was ridiculous. Caleb Williams looked solid in preseason, but so many question marks. I just cannot pick the Bears until they win a game this season. So that'll be the same thing moving forward. If the Bears do not win this week, I will not pick them until they win a game. Once they win me over, then I'll start picking them. So Bears fans, if you're still watching this video, I'm sorry. I'll pick you once you guys get a win. I have confidence that they'll figure it out, but I don't know how long it's going to take. It seems like the playbook is just all over the place and very complex for a guy who's just trying to, kind of get his bearings in the league in Caleb Williams. So, and the Vikings, I think they're just going to take advantage of that. And I think the Bears are favored right now in some scenarios. I see both sides of the spectrum on different apps. I think this one's a pick 'em, and I have the Vikings winning this game. So that's going to do it for my week 1 projections. Again, if you guys have been following along, let me know where you guys agree and disagree in the comments. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for week 2 of NFL predictions. Have a good one.